हमारी एजेंसियां इस षड्यंत्र की तह तक जाएगी। इसके पीछे के षड्यंत्रकारियों को बख्शा नहीं जाएगा।
Namaskar, viewers and listeners of the Great Game Reloaded. I am Tilak Devasher. At 6:52 p.m. on 10th November, a white Hyundai i20 detonated at a traffic light near the Red Fort metro station in Delhi, India's capital, the heart of its democracy. Investigators are calling it Delhi's first vehicle-borne suicide attack and only the second since the 2019 Pulwama terror attack. 13 people dead, 20 injured. The blast that carried more than just explosives. It carried a message. Because the Red Fort isn't just another landmark. It's a national emblem where every Independence Day, India's Prime Minister unfurls the tricolour. It is also where Pakistan and Pak terror groups have sought for decades to unfurl the Pakistan flag. The message was, and I quote, "We can strike at the heart of your capital," unquote. And the man driving the car? Not a militant from across the border, not a teenage recruit from a refugee camp. A doctor, a university lecturer, a man who had sworn to save lives and chose instead to destroy them. His name was Dr. Umar-ul-Nabi, a doctor, an academic, educated, employed, married. Not your typical extremist stereotype. And his story reveals how the face of terrorism is changing and why Delhi's blast isn't just another attack, but a new chapter in the evolution of extremism. He was part of what investigators are calling a network of radicalized professionals, doctors, professors, and medical researchers spread across Delhi, Faridabad, Lucknow, and Kashmir. You heard that right. Doctors, professors, academics, the very people we expect to heal society, planning to destroy it. A web that combines old school jihadist ideology with modern tools, education, cryptocurrency, encrypted apps. Let us unpack the various elements of the blast. At first, it seemed like another IED, a crude bomb, but it wasn't. Forensic teams examined the debris. Over 40 samples were collected. Cartridges, live ammunition, traces of explosives residue, and what they found was alarming. Ammonium nitrate, yes, but also something more powerful. A second compound not yet identified, stronger than ammonium nitrate. Something new. This was the kind of sophistication seen in state-sponsored terror networks, not isolated radicals. Investigators believe the bomb was improperly assembled. If it had been wired correctly, Delhi would have witnessed greater carnage. The Delhi, Jammu and Kashmir and Haryana police soon pieced the puzzle together, and what they found was shocking. The Delhi blast was the last act of a plot that began 3 weeks earlier in Srinagar's Nagaum area. It started with a poster. 17th October, Srinagar. Locals woke up to find Jaish-e-Mohammed posters pasted on a wall in Banpura, Nagaum. They carried threats. They accused shopkeepers of sheltering Indian predators. They warned of strict action against Sharia. And they were signed Commander Hanzala Bhai. The alert police sensed something bigger. When investigators checked CCTV footage, they found a man in a hooded jacket. That man was identified as Dr. Adil Ahmed Rathur, a postgraduate doctor from Anantnag. A doctor putting up terror posters in Srinagar? That single clue eventually exposed a Delhi Faridabad module that the National Investigating Agency, NIA, is now calling India's first white-collar terror module, an urban, educated, interstate network of radicalized professionals. 19th October, the J&K police arrested a cleric from Shopian, Maulvi Irfan Ahmed, who ran an Islamist study circle. He admitted to radicalizing young doctors and connecting them to handlers in Pakistan. On November 5, investigators traced Dr. Adil Rathar to Saharanpur, Uttar Pradesh. He was brought in for questioning. His phone contained encrypted chats, maps, and voice notes. He named his accomplices, Dr. Muzammil, Dr. Shaheen, and Dr. Umar. 8th November, the Haryana and J&K police conducted joint raids in Faridabad. They arrested Dr. Muzammil Shakil from Al-Falah University. They found 2,900 kilograms of explosives in his rented house. That's right, almost 3 tons of ammonium nitrate, metal casings, and detonator components. Enough to destroy an entire city block. They also found assault rifle, pistols, detonators, chemicals. 9th November, more arrests. Dr. Shaheen Shahid, a doctor from Lucknow, she was caught. She confessed to running logistics and finances for the Jaish-e-Mohammed women's wing. Jamaat-e-Muminat, led by Sadia Azhar, sister of Masood Azhar, the Jaish-e-Mohammed Supremo. She raised 26 lakhs through crypto wallets and online fundraisers. A car was found with a Krinkov rifle, pistols, and coded instructions. 10th November, the day of the blast. As news of the arrests spread, one doctor panicked. Dr. Umar Nabi. He knew his turn was next. He fled in one of the explosive-laden cars from Faridabad. Near the Red Fort Metro Gate number 1, the bomb went off. Initial assessment was that this could have been by accident. Now the agencies feel that it was by design, a suicide attack. According to investigators, these doctors were part of a study circle that began as religious discussion but evolved into radical indoctrination. Their mentor, Maulvi Irfan, had links to Ansar Ghazwatul Hind, the Al-Qaeda wing in Kashmir. From there, they moved towards Jaish-e-Mohammed and eventually handlers in Turkey and Pakistan. One name keeps coming up, Okasa, a Turkey-based handler who trained them online, how to recruit, how to encrypt, how to conceal money, and how to build IEDs. When that training was not enough, one of them, Dr. Muzaffar Rathar, left India. His destination? Pakistan. His mission? Liaise with jihadis for bomb-making expertise. From there, he vanished. The mastermind of the module? Dr. Adil Ahmed Rathar from Anantnag, Kashmir. At least 5 of the accused doctors had studied or worked at Al-Falah University. They weren't outsiders. They weren't dropouts. They were insiders, educated, salaried, socially respected. This wasn't the story of the poor brainwashed youth from a war-torn valley. This was something far more sinister, the radicalization of professionals. Think about that for a moment. Doctors, people who are trained to save lives, building bombs to take lives. Why? What converts a healer into a killer? It's not poverty. It's not ignorance. It's ideology. A slow digital indoctrination that turns intellect into an instrument of terror. According to unconfirmed reports, almost 30 IEDs were being fabricated for a series of simultaneous car bombings across several cities in North India. The mayhem this would have caused can well be imagined. Now let's talk about the Pakistan connection. Within hours of the Delhi blast, Pakistan's Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif stood up in Parliament, not to condemn the terror, but to accuse India. He said Afghanistan and India were behind terror attacks in Pakistan. He even mentioned Delhi's name in the same breath as the Islamabad suicide bombing. This, while his own intelligence agencies were funding and guiding Jaish modules across the border. JEM, the group behind Pulwama Pathankot, and now Delhi, is the creation of the Pakistani deep state. Its founder, Masood Azhar, remains protected in Bhavalpur, despite multiple UN designations. After India's Balakot airstrikes in 2019 and Pahalgam missile strikes in 2025, Jaish has weakened, but not destroyed. They diversified. They built new networks, academic, digital, gendered. They launched a women's wing to fundraise and radicalize from behind the curtain. And now the Delhi blast shows how effective that reinvention has been. Every time Pakistan is cornered, politically, economically, or militarily, it reaches for the terror card. And right now, Islamabad is cornered. The country is broke, its politics divided, its army discredited. The Taliban in Kabul are defying Pakistan. The TTP, the Pakistani Taliban, is attacking inside Pakistan. So what does the deep state do? It looks for diversion. And India always is a tempting target. Let's rewind. This isn't the first time Delhi has been attacked. Each time, the same fingerprints. Pak-based handlers, radical proxies, ideological war. But this time, something's changed. This is not Jaish-e-Mohammed sending foot soldiers. It's Jaish's ideology recruiting intellectuals. This is terrorism going corporate, infiltrating classrooms, hospitals, and universities. It's no longer about guns across the border, it's about ideas across the internet. It's not about creating militants in jungles anymore. It's about creating them in classrooms. Highly educated individuals who radicalize online without ever meeting a handler or crossing a border. They fund themselves, they recruit quietly, they blend in. In this case, all 5 main accused were doctors. All had stable incomes. All had travelled abroad to Turkey and the Gulf. All had digital contact with radical preachers. As if that wasn't enough, 3 days later, tragedy struck again, this time in Srinagar. A blast at the Nagaum police station killed 9 people, including forensic experts and police officers. They were examining explosives recovered from Faridabad when a cache detonated accidentally. The Delhi blast teaches one lesson: that terrorism in India has not vanished. It has evolved. It no longer wears fatigues. It wears lab coats. It no longer hides in mountains. It hides in medical colleges. It no longer recruits with guns. It recruits with smartphones. And this new ecosystem is deeply transnational, with handlers in Turkey, Pakistan, and possibly Bangladesh. Digital training by ISK and ideological cover from the Jaish and Ansar Ghazwatul Hind. The Red Fort blast was not just a tragedy, it was a test of India's intelligence, its diplomacy, its unity, and its will. And as we connect the dots, from a poster in Srinagar to an explosion in Delhi, one truth becomes clear. The Delhi blast is not the end of a story. It's a reminder of a neighbor that never stops scheming, that terrorism never disappears, it mutates, it hides, it waits. It doesn't vanish when we stop seeing it. It vanishes when we stop enabling it. That means constant visual, not for a week, but every single day. The government has called it an act of terror. Operation Sindoor was only paused. Let's see what the government's reaction will be to this act of terror. Before ending, let me say that this is a developing story, and more revelations are likely as investigations are completed. I will keep you posted on this. I am Tilak Devasher. Thank you for watching. Do like, share and comment. Namaskar and Jai Hind.